皆さんこんにちは。実際ポリス続きをやっていきたいと思います。禁酒品、禁製品は造船所を通して町に入ってくると分析。何の話だ。ゴールデンパート。何の話でしょうね。ビートバスターズダンススタジオとダンススタジオトウモロコシ記念碑近くで紹介され、ミスコン参加者足を骨折方法。疲れすぎてフラフラです。何で疲れてる？意味がわかりませんね。なんかそうでしたかよ。あれか。思い出したぞ。迷宮入りしそうですね。いや、そうか。殺されちゃったんですね、一人ね。自殺予告。女子中学生が科学の教師のオフィスに閉じこもって、致死薬をわざわざ合わせて飲んでやると騒いでいる。教師たちはドアを壊して突入できない状態だ。この生徒は過去にも不可解な行動をとっていたようだ。同級生は、出演したのだと思うけれど詳しいことは分かっていないと言っている。女子中学生が遠いな。何がいいかな。給料を上げてくれっていうの上げてくれないんでしょ、どうせ。まあ一応じゃあ今日の16時39分に質やからちょっと潰れててよくわからないんですけど、 ちょっとした用事がある。サーツの邪魔が入らないようにお膳立てをお願いしましょうというですね。衣料品店の女性販売員から窃盗にあったと通報があった。若い女が4枚の T シャツを着用した。4枚の T シャツを着用したのは試着室が出てくると急いで店を後にしたらしい。なかなか珍しいご主人ですね。4枚の T シャツはさすがに着れないんじゃないですか。さっきお酒店ですね。女性客がナンパしようとしたレジが女性客をナンパしようしたナンパしようとしたレジ係がワインを売るには年齢確認が必要だと言って身分証明書の、提示を求めた。その後レジ係の男は警察に通報し、彼女の身分証明書は偽物だと主張した。それなんか問題なの。35歳のはずがない。多めに見積もっても29くらいだ。なんか問題なの。酒を買うのに頭おかしいじゃない君今日18時に病院でちょっとした用事がある。女性の病院証明書本物だってそんなとこでしょうね。武装強盗ね、これですね。セットなんかOh yes. Codes and license.
I was trying to raise 10-1.
Check.
We've got a situation here.
被害者の一人が年配の管理人がこっそり病棟を漁っていたのを目撃したらしい。すべての管理人を逮捕するとスピーカーでアナウンスする。面白そうな。オーバーオールを着た白車なんだろう白髪の管理人がこっそり逃げようとしている。 手には大きなバッグを持っている。動くな。よし。ジャック、どうしてこんなことしたのかわからない。悪かったね。私もわからない。酔ってるのかもしれない。男はガチャンコ台に立ち上がると、カードをベンチに投げ捨てて、そしてキッズバッグに向かって指を出し、ほら勝ったぞと叫んだ。コートを投げる男を逮捕する。逃げた。まあ仕方ない。はい、終了です。本日の
Boyd.
I don't have much time, so listen close. We got him, Jack. The dentist is in our custody.
Wow. Congratulations, Ethan.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's our guy. But she's definitely the one who committed the murders in Freeburg. And it's a young woman.
Wait a second, did you...
A very large, very strong woman. What? Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jack. I gotta go. We've got a briefing. But, something's not right, Jack. Someone's leading us around by the nose. We'll talk later, okay?
I'd almost forgotten the feeling. The feeling you get when you stay on the sidelines during a major bust. But I don't think I'll be out of the game for long. Palmer had nothing to do with this. The dentist, whoever he is, was a gift box meant for me. It just got delivered to the wrong address. And I've got a hunch who packed the box.
はい、次行きましょう。分離主義者の教師。学部長に処理。走り屋たち、しないで事故か。映画、チームまみれて、残虐表現で上映禁止に。さあ行きましょう。
Yeah, a box of Caesars.
With that outfit, I could see you coming a mile away, Mr. Boyd.
Ah, Mr. Chaffee. Knowing your love of theatrics, I was afraid you'd keep the mystery surrounding the dentist going for at least another day or two.
What could you mean, Mr. Boyd? Well, it's true. Robespierre does have a passion for mystery and the dramatic. But there's no need to confuse the actor with his character. For you, I'll play the hurried businessman who likes to cut to the chase. That's not quite me either, but though this mask I wear is quite a burden, I have long grown used to it. Besides, I don't want to distract you from your 180-day quest, not for a second longer than necessary. My, is half your time already up? You simply cannot imagine, Mr. Boyd, the painstaking work I've done to cultivate this maniac image. I turn to such literature the likes of which I wish I never knew. If our law enforcement agencies possessed even the slightest aesthetic sense, they would have instantly seen the game for what it was. And the postcards. What can I say?
And if the real dentist turned up again at the wrong moment? I don't imagine lunatics take kindly to imposters.
The dentist died of a heart attack last spring while he was sunbathing on the beach. I discovered this quite by accident, from a university friend, a therapist. It was he who convinced the dentist to stop killing, by the way.
Why the murders? Obviously they'd all been raped by Rogers. It would have been much easier to just get them to talk.
Mr. Boyd, the last thing I want is to appear a brutish butcher. I spent enough time on these women to know they were no use to me alive. Not sure if I should be ashamed to say it, but Stuart Rogers far surpasses me in his ability to intimidate people. Apparently, such things only come with experience. But murder? For that I truly do feel ashamed. It's a burden I shall have to bear for the rest of my days. But sadly, it's not my greatest shame.
What could be more shameful? To frame an innocent woman for such terrible crimes?
What? Are you unhappy with a woman cast as the serial killer? Firstly, I'd say Dear Jordan adds a certain grace to the whole sordid story. And second, of all the people I hold in my debt, she's the strongest. And not just physically. Third, she had good reason to settle her debt with me as quickly as possible. Without going into details, I'll just say that she's a very, very caring mother. Do these taste good? Had we met earlier, Mr. Boyd, I would have shown you a far more refined pleasure, one without such an unpleasant smell.
I'm afraid to even imagine what you count as pleasures, Mr. Chaffee. Fountains of blood in the city square?
Mr. Boyd, you're not listening to me at all. I didn't take any enjoyment from the killings. Everything I've done was of strict necessity. I couldn't make Jordan kill all the women that Rogers raped. That would have been excessive. If I had made her kill them all, you'd be rather upset, no?
I can't say I fully understand your plan, Mr. Chaffee, but you've given me more than enough reasons to arrest you.
Yes, but allow me to counter them with one good reason not to.
長いな。
I think you mentioned you dined here once?
Yes, not the best restaurant in town.
And maybe you're just not familiar with the full range of our services. When I inherited this tasteless place from my father, I knew I could never make it into an exquisite restaurant. Instead, I accentuated the atrocity of it all, an aesthetic of a different kind. Now I even live here. To me, this complex is like a microcosm of Freeburg. But we're not here to talk about that. At school, I read a French novel whose name doesn't need mentioning, and I read many amazing things. It seems that in Paris, just before the Revolution, certain places were quite popular. People of wealth and taste visited from the city, shed their luxurious coats, peeled off their white gloves, and with the help of the local farmer, they brutally stabbed a hole in a bull and decorated themselves with the splattering blood as they prepared a large piece of meat for the fire. In the bull's suffering, these effeminate aristocrats found a perverse sort of pleasure. Now I make these pleasures available to the people of Freeburg. I will be honest with you. People who pursue such cruelty truly are crazy. But what is interesting? The best steaks are cut from the tender meat of young bulls. 11 months is just right. Beautiful, healthy, full of strength. But these wealthy degenerates who pay $7,000, so our experts will show them where to plunge the blade for maximum effect. Even they don't have the spirit to slaughter the young bull. The thought never enters their minds. They look into the eyes of the healthy animal bursting with energy, and they quickly shuffle past. As if by instinct, they are drawn to the old, weary, fading bulls. And then, with terrible smiles on their faces, they chew through tough steaks that taste of burning rubber. They feel that they're doing something real with their own hands, a sort of natural selection, as if they're agents in the natural process. But nature also teaches us that the old beast, unable to fend off any threat, might yet survive if it cowers in a dark corner and pretends it doesn't exist. Then, perhaps, the young predator will pass. Mr. Scott will drive you back. I'm late for an appointment.
Mr. Boyd, you won't believe it, but the person I just got off the phone with was talking about you.
Seems like I'm pretty popular these days.
By the way, Mr. Boyd, I've got to ask, why $500,000?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
おはようございます。ボイル社長、殺人犯は2週間にわたって街を恐怖に陥れました。でもあなたは何もしなかった。FBI がここに駆けつけ逮捕してくれなかったら、一体どうなっていたと思いますか？お前らには何も知らん。すぐに逮捕した。死刑は支えていた。FBI の仕事を陰で支えていたのは我々死刑です。それを FBI がいいとこ取りしただけです。Oh yes あなたが記者会見で死刑に関して話したことで街はパニックに陥りました。話す内容をもう少し慎重に考えた方が良かったのでは。事実。俺は正直な人間だ。フリーバーグに危険が迫っているなら、街の人はそれを知る権利があります。このような失敗を犯したら、自尊心のある役人も辞任を決意するはずです。あなたはどうしますか？フリーバーグには俺が必要。私には市民たちを守る義務があります。それを怠るようなことはしません。歯科医が殺害したフリーバーグの5人の犠牲者とロジャース市長の関連性について、リーバーグで5人の犠牲者と、木にかかって法の下では誰もが平等でなければなりません。市長でさえもその件はきちんと調査します。選挙長かった。それでは今回はここで終わっておきたいと思います。それではまた次回お楽しみに。